much smaller dragon, so that this city looks far away. Here, I don't know. I'm not sure what exactly I want him to be doing. Maybe he's curving upward. He's curving like that. Yeah, maybe he's curving. So we'll just do this little curve, a little wing, his face or her face. We don't know. I haven't decided. And then shrink the dragon down a little bit. I don't think that actually looks like a silhouette of a dragon. Maybe like curving like this instead. Yeah, that's better. There. Okay, so maybe like that and like that. I actually probably wouldn't see the swooping down, because if these are bat wings, they fly from the wrist, I think. Yeah, they fly from the wrist because of how the bones of the bat wing works. So you don't actually see them probably like that too much. You probably would see it with the shoulder up and the wing down. I don't know. Maybe I'll have the wing up instead. Just make that easier. What also would make it easier is if I actually decided on a story to draw. You know, like if I was making a character from one of my short stories or something, or my D&D campaigns, you know. Because then I would have a direction. You know, I wouldn't have to decide what the dragons look like. I'd have to be like, oh, this is what they look like, and this is how I'm going to draw them, because that's what they're doing, and that's what they do in this society, or something like that. I don't think I phrased that very well. It helps if I have a game plan, and I don't have a game plan. That's kind of the meat of that, of what I just said. I think I also want a dragon on the ground, like way back here, like that, just to really hammer home the scale 3. And because there's 3, you know, it makes a triangle. A triangle helps people look at stuff, and that's fine. I mean, I know it's supposed to be about skies, but man, do I get bored, so we're gonna draw dragons. So this little dragon, maybe this is a landing platform for dragons, like right here on this city, right there. So that's what he's doing. He's landing. This is a city of dragon riders. Maybe that's a city for dragons, but they're landing there. That's that. So these are the dragon sketches. Dragon sketches. They're not going to be blended into anything or merged into anything because they're not done. I don't really like, I merge my layers pretty frequently, but I don't like to merge sketches into tones. I just like to merge big areas of paint into each other. Alright, so this is probably good. I don't know what I'd put. I feel like I need something down here. I don't know what I would need. Something to so that it guides you like that. This dumb spiral that would happen if I put something in this corner. I don't know what I would put here. I mean, if we're being really cheesy, I could put one of those desert skulls, you know, that you see like cow skulls in the desert. I don't really want to do that. I guess it would depend on the story. Like if, you know, maybe there's a hat here from somebody who's not here anymore. It's just fallen in the middle of the desert. Maybe it's just bricks. Maybe it's just bricks from a city. It could be a path, because the path would then lead you in. So like if I had some sort of road like that, like that, and then it went into the city. That's probably okay. It doesn't feel very story important though, just in the ground. I actually don't think swords stand up that way. Let me undo that. That looks like a gravestone or something, which would be a story element. No, instead, maybe instead we have a human in this corner, a human person, like that. You know, that'll people know how big humans are generally. Maybe they have the sword. Maybe they're coming in to fight dragons. They're an invader. So we have this person, their hat, maybe a cloak. Yeah, they have a cloak. And they're coming to fight dragons, and that's why they're over here. I'm leaning down like a vulture again, which I can't do while I draw because it hurts my neck. But I like to, like, instead of zooming in on the painting, I move my face closer, which is how I learned to paint, so that's why I do it, but it's not necessary, so. I think this person, maybe instead of a cape, you gotta have that leg space. That's how you tell it's a person. Zooming in on the painting, I move my face closer, which is how I learned to paint, so that's why I do it, but it's not necessary, so. I think this person, maybe instead of a cape, you gotta have that leg space. That's how you tell it's a person. Legs. Maybe a small cape. Small cape like that. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good cape. And they're here to fight dragons. I have a friend who says they would fight down dragons or make it their mission to fight down dragons wherever they were. And my other friend told me that dragons are always bloodthirsty. Well, I think that's rude. I love dragons. So this is the villain. This is the villain. Because dragons are heroes. Anyway. Oops. Anyway, we gotta erase that because that's not painting. Alright, so I have my clouds. They actually look really interesting with these outlines. I have my dragons on top. That kind of is the meat of the story. I think that's enough silhouetting. I could probably get into actually painting because I could sit here forever just doodling, which is not what this is. This is not doodling. So anyway, I'm going to merge visible, image adjustments. You know what? There's a quick key for merging the layer below the previous one. There we go. Nope, not that. There we go. Okay, so now the background is this painting. I know a lot of people don't like to merge their layers. I can only work with about 10 layers at once before I start getting kind of lost in my own work. So that is why I don't often keep too many of them. Foreground, clouds. Okay, so these are going to be the foreground clouds. I will edit hold on a second, I got a text. I'm going to tell them about my art stream. I am having an art stream. That's what's up. Alright, so the bottom of these clouds, in fact, these whole clouds should probably be a little bit darker. I don't know. So anyway, right. So the bottom of the clouds I'll outline and maybe a little bit of this interior like that because they're casting a shadow. Let's go back. Let's go to orangish because I like the way I colored that before. Oops. There we go. Orangish cloud. And then the top of it, maybe I'll have Maybe I'll have a source of light on this cloud. I have to decide where the sun is. I think the sun will be from over here, from this corner. So I don't want the edges to be too hard. Cancel. So we want it to be a cool light, so I'll just sample from the bottom and then add that right there. Yep. Now the light is coming across this cloud. I probably should use less feathering on my stuff, on my lasso tool now, just because I have kind of the basics there. I don't want it to start looking mushy. So maybe I'll have 1 pixel feather. It's not completely hard, but not completely soft. Then I'll add maybe some of the shadow of the bottom right there. Try to get this edge a little softer. That looks really weird. Never mind. Let's see. All right, so there'll be light hitting right here. Right here. So we'll add a little bit of light like that. And then there'll be shadow on this side. So we'll add a little bit of shadow right here. And then I guess the light's coming from the top too. So we'll just outline it maybe a little bit. I don't want to get too noodly too early on. That is the key to making it look weird. You start doing small stuff too early. Yeah. It's hard not to, though. You know, I really compulsively want to fix tiny things. Maybe I'll take the bottom a little bit and outline it somewhat, like that. I don't know. All right, so we have that foreground cloud. I guess I could take even lighter than this blue. Well, no, I don't need lighter than this blue. You can edge these clouds a little bit in the light, because this is the top of the cloud. But I want to make it thin, so I'm gonna go back in and paint out the edge a little bit, like that. I don't know. I just like linear stuff. That's why I do things like that. I also feel like this part of the cloud would be lit up too, like that. It wouldn't be just because it's casting a small amount of shadow, like that. Can't be as dark as the bottom of the cloud because it's gonna always get a little bit more light. I guess I can move on to a different cloud. Let's see. So this cloud right here is in front of that back cloud. Oh, did it freeze again? No, it didn't. Okay, good. So we have this cloud should actually be marginally darker than the cloud over here. So we need to just a little bit of darkness, maybe like here, that, just to make it clear that this cloud is in front of the other cloud. I have a lump I've drawn on it before that should come down as a gradient, like right here, the edge of it. Oops. The edge of it is here. Make it darker. And it should just very smoothly transition down, like that. Let's see, and then something similar will happen here where it's catching, but instead the shadow is coming from